Hello and welcome to another wicked gameplay video. Today I am back in a flight simulator. However, today we're looking at Prepared version 2.1, and I'm basically in the default Beechcraft Bonanza. So what I want to do today is give you a bit of an insight into what Prepared actually looks like. Normally I fly X-Plane. Today I'm looking at Prepared, and I guess one of those reasons I like to compare, and I know they're both going to be different, they're both going to have pros and cons, and really it's about just having a little bit of variety for me and having a broader range of different planes. You'll know you'll get some planes that aren't available on X-Plane, and you'll get some other aircraft that aren't available in Prepared. So that's pretty much my main reason. I really like the idea of playing around with the G1000 cockpits, which you don't really get in general aviation aircraft in X-Plane, at least at the moment. But you know, this is just my opportunity to just see what Prepared's like and try out Prepared for its positives. That has taken a little bit of getting used to. So what I'm going to do is we'll just have a little look at this aircraft. I mean, we've already looked at a Bonanza before in X-Plane, and this is actually a Coronado Bonanza that comes as a default aircraft in Prepared. So that's kind of pretty cool. Doesn't seem quite as complete, if that's the right word, as what it'd say is when I purchased my own copy of the A36 Bonanza for X-Plane. You know, the switches don't have sounds, but you know, that's neither here or there at the end of the day, I guess. So you know, you get it for free with the sim, so that's pretty cool. So you can see this, I'm not running any add-ons except for one. I'm currently running Ezdok because I kind of want to get that same kind of view that I get, you know, being able to move around. Very similar to what I get in X-Plane, so that's essentially why I got Ezdok. Not running any environmental sort of changes. This is pretty much the default Prepared views, weather, etc., etc. So I'm not going to go around the plane too much. I mean, you know what these look like. Overall, I think Prepared seems like a pretty nice simulator. Definitely is a little bit different to X-Plane. You know, if I look at this, just looks a little bit like, say for example, the GPS system here, or the navigation system, kind of seems like it may be closer to the real thing. While X-Plane is pretty decent, and I know with 10.3 they're going to be upgrading that to make it a bit more feature rich. You know, we are seeing some stuff here like inside airspace, which doesn't currently work in X-Plane 10.2.5. So you know, that's kind of a nice thing. You know, here we can select the approaches, although I haven't really been playing around with this long enough to know how it works. So that's a few of the positives that I'm actually liking about Prepared over X-Plane currently. Now we'll jump in here. You know, if I have to say which is my preference, I still prefer X-Plane. I kind of like the flight dynamics of the plane. I'm not a pilot. I've never even been in a general aviation aircraft to really know which one's which, so I'm no expert. It's just my personal preference in terms of flight simulation. So what I wanted to do was, you know, you'll see here the scenery in Prepared's actually not too bad as a default. The scenery on the ground compared to X-Plane is probably, they're kind of very similar in some ways. In some ways better. You know, Prepared is better in other ways. I think X-Plane's better. But you know, at the end of the day, I think they both do a pretty decent job straight out of the box. So why don't we just get off the ground. One thing I will say is, whenever I start up Prepared, I find myself taking off. You know, I'm in this takeoff mode. The plane just just starts taking off before I even get a chance to really find out what's going on. That's got something to do with the way the controls and all that are set up. So you'll load a plane, before you know it, this thing's just launching out and away until you reduce your throttle. So in any case, let's get this thing off the ground. So what we can do here is just scroll down, turn on my flaps. I don't think I'm going to try and, let's just see if Ezdok's going to work for me. It's definitely not as nice or smooth as X-plane views. I definitely prefer the X-plane views. So we've got our nav switches on. Okay. And you know, you've got to buy Ezdok to get these kind of views, and it's definitely not as smooth. So definitely, I feel like I'm oversaying definitely, but yeah, the X-plane views are pretty amazing in my opinion. Anyway, let's see if we can get this thing on the road. See, definitely feel like I'm having some frame rate issues with recording at 32-bit. So the X-plane is definitely smoother during recording. We're going to get up in the air here. Put our gear up. Definitely seeing frame lag. That could be just that I've got my settings reasonably high, and I'm recording, and you know, I have an i5 processor, so it's probably struggling a little bit. Let's just have a little look around. So this is the prepared scenery that you're going to get. You know, like I said, I don't have Orbix or anything like that installed. I've got to get my flaps up here. And you know, I think, in my opinion, the planes seem easier to fly, even though I have this set up on hard. They definitely seem easier to fly than what they are in X-plane. Like, I can just let go of my controls and it's pretty smooth. I can't really rotate. I'm getting a lot of drops of frames, so it's not as smooth, at least in recording. But when I'm not recording, it is pretty smooth. I haven't really had any problems with that. This is more a matter of, you know, recording and moving a lot at the same time. When I'm not recording, I don't really see any particular frame losses, and I have it set for about 35 frames, and it's actually quite smooth. Let's see if we can get a look on the outside. So this is kind of what the landscape looks like. It definitely has some kind of realism to it. So we can get around the plane here. Yeah, definitely losing some frames. So I'll try and just get around here. Yeah, it's very jerky with me recording, but like I said, it's not like that when I'm not recording. So that's just a product of my machine, so nothing taken away from Prepared there. So overall, pretty nice sim. Definitely want to spend a little bit more time in here and do some comparisons. You get these little tips up on the side here, so I don't know how helpful they are, but tell me I should be leaning my mixture. So overall, pretty nice. I think the scenery is kind of, you know, you definitely got the ovals and stuff here. I'm flying out of Bankstown Airport, which is the general aviation airport in Sydney, where if you're flying general aviation aircraft, that's where you would be flying out of. that's my first look at Prepared. I think it's pretty nice. Definitely a little bit different to X-Plane, but you know, I think it's a worthwhile investment if you're interested in flight simulation and you want a little bit of variety. So that's my first look at at Prepared. Hope you like this video. If you like this kind of thing, give us a thumbs up. Always happy to hear your comments, and we'll see you on the next one.